Joined now by Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson. You don't want to be in this man's way when he's running the football, and you really don't want to be dealing with one of his receivers when he's throwing it. KJ, how we doing?
Doing good. Blessing to be here. Glad to be on the show with you guys.
All right, so you got Texas A&M this week. Obviously, a very big game. You beat those guys last year, but I want to talk to you about this Missouri State game that you guys just finished. You're down 17-0 in the second quarter, and I saw you said after the game that on the sideline is just an elite mindset. What does that mean? What does that mean? You guys are doing down 17, knowing that you can come back.
Encouraging each other. I mean, nobody's dividing, nobody's pointing finger, nobody's blaming one side of the ball. Offense not doing their job, defense not doing their job. We all just coming together as a collective unit and just knowing what we have to do, and then just being battle tested versus Missouri, and we needing that adversity early on, so we know how to handle it. By us just coming out and being able to come out with the victory, it just shows that this team's on the right path. We all have the right mindset.
So what's KJ time? Tell me about that. I saw that there's some big plays before halftime, some big plays obviously at the end of the game. Tell me a little bit about what KJ time. Is it money time? KJ time? What is it?
It's just money time. So for me, it's just like it's just a groove I'm in, just a rhythm I'm in, and it's a time for me to just be able to take over the game and just show my presence and show my leadership and what I'm capable of doing on the field, and just make sure I put my teammates in the right position to win at all costs.
How does that develop? Because you've talked in the past about when you were an early starter in your career, getting nervous and not being sure of exactly what you should be doing, to getting to the point where you can kind of point at your wrist and say, this is when I'm going to shine.
Just confidence. I mean, the more and more you play, the more experience you get in big time situations, clutch situations. You're gaining confidence each and every time you step in those situations. And also, Coach Pittman just do a great job of putting the offense and the defense in certain scenarios in practice, to where when it does come up in the game, we know how to handle it. We know what plays to call, what we need to do. Do we need to get out of bounds or get the first down? So just being able to put us in those certain scenarios in practice, and then go out there on the game day is more easy, and we know what to do. It's muscle memory. So just being able to just be confident throughout the whole process.
KJ, you guys have accomplished quite a bit there. Obviously a big win to start the season against a team that played in the playoff last year. But it hasn't been that long since Arkansas was a little bit more down than it is now. When you look at the next two games coming up, starting with A&M on a neutral field on Saturday, I mean, is this an opportunity for you to show what Arkansas football is all about, and how do you guys approach this?
Oh, I mean, we're approaching like just any other game. I mean, we're playing. I mean, the main thing is this game. We know it's a big rivalry, SEC West, SEC game. Also, on top of that, it's a trophy game. So I mean, it's both. It's going to be an elite atmosphere. It's both a big game for both programs, us and A&M. So just being able to have just that mentality going in, that we know it's going to be a physical battle, and it's just all about endurance. We're going to endure to the end and have the right mindset going into that game, that it's going to be a physical game. And just try to out physical those guys.
So you were there for some pretty dark times at Arkansas, and then Coach Pittman comes in, Felipe Franks comes in. How did those two help get you on the right path and help you decide that Arkansas was where you wanted to stay and try to become the starting quarterback?
So when Coach Pittman came in, I met with him. I had just had surgery, so I was in the building. Then I had met with him, and we just talked, and he was just telling me just believe in him and trust him, and just trust the process. I mean, it's a long process, it's a long season, so just being able to just be humble, pray about it. So I talked to my mom, just praying about it. Then when Felipe came along, I mean, I just took it on as a challenge. I mean, we were both competing, we both in the same situation, we both play the same position. So just being able to learn under him, from him coming from Florida and having experience and knowing what it takes to win the SEC game, and just the leadership that he has on the field and off the field, how he talked to our teammates and how he addressed certain situations that when things aren't going right, he knows exactly what to say and how to say it to people. So just being able to use all that and then just soak it out as a sponge at such a young age. And then now it's my turn and my opportunity. I'm just trying to take and do the most with it.
KJ, I'm sure Andy will ask you a little bit more about this later on in the interview, but I was just wondering, you've been in college now, pre-NIL and post-NIL. I was just wondering, what's it like? There's been more evolution in college football the last 2 years than there has been maybe in the previous 50 combined. I was just wondering, how much different is it being a college athlete now than it was 2-3 years ago?
I mean, now for me, I feel like now is way more eyes on you now. than it was back then because the NIL standpoint. So everybody's watching you, everybody watching what you post, everybody watching you outside of the football stadium. So just being able to be careful. I mean, back then, I mean, people knew who you were, but they didn't just really know who you were outside of the pads and the helmet. So now with the NIL, it just shows you by using your platform, it just shows you a more personal side than just a football side. And people the fans understand, oh, he just played football. Now they can actually get to know their player better. So I feel like that's a positive out of it.
Oh, I got some NIL questions, but I do want to ask first, though, you were using your platform in a little bit different way recently. You're from Mississippi, and obviously there's a water crisis going on in the state of Mississippi, and you were using your name to help raise money for that. How does that happen? Does somebody get in touch with you, or is that something you saw what was going on and said, okay, how do I help?
So I actually seen what was going on. I got a couple family members that stay down there. So, main thing was me just growing up and coming where I come from. It just main thing. I just want to leave an impact. So the main thing I want to be able to help people that's in need or just leave an impact when my time up on earth. So people can be like, oh, he did this and he did that, and he was a great man. He used his platform in the right way. So that's just my main thing. I mean, knowing that my home state is in need of something, and me being in the position that I'm in, and I can be able to use my platform and reach worldwide and reach people that want to help donate and help the state of Mississippi out just by going through a water crisis like we are now. So just being able to use my platform and try to impact others.
You know, when you were going, I'm a recruiting nut, so I have to ask one recruiting question. But when you're going through your recruitment out of the state of Mississippi and stuff, is there one moment that we'll always remember about your recruitment, whether it be an offer or a funny story or a visit or anything that like people who follow recruiting might not know about you?
I would say, as far as a trip wise, my coach, high school football coach, we took a tour basically. So we went from Arkansas to New Orleans to Texas to Indiana to we would drop down to Illinois. We went to where else we go? So we were just taking a big old round trip, just going around camps, visits, just all types of stuff. I mean, it was hectic, but at the same time it was fun because I got to see and different facilities and different coaching staff and build relationships and network with different people on just not even football side, but just on the business side of it. So it was a real cool experience. And I mean, I just advise everybody to take their visits. Younger guys just take their visits and just be able to just learn and suck up everything as a sponge and do your research.
Did you do any fast food experimentation? Because, you know, everybody's used to what their fast food's like at home, and you're going all these different places in the country. Did you do any experimenting, find any places you'd never heard of?
I didn't. I mean, no, I did. I did one. We was in Indiana. I can't think of the place though, but I had ended up eating calamari for the first time, and I didn't know what it was at first until like I ate it, and I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good." And then my coach was like, "You just know what that is, right?" I'm like, "Nah." Like that's squid. I'm like, whoa, I just ate that. So I mean, that's probably the only wild thing that I ate so far as calamari.
I mean, when you think of Indiana, you think of squid, right? Like that.
There's not a lot of squid in Mississippi either.
Yeah, not at all.
At least there's still it borders on the Gulf, right? Like there's squids in the Gulf. I don't know.
He's from the northern part of the state,
but at least there's a part of the state that is toward a large body of water. So KJ, what I gotta ask this because I just have to. Like, what is your go-to fast food meal? Like, where and what do you order?
So I'm cut back since I've been losing weight, just on fast food. But if I had to say,
he's on the Lose It app, Andy.
I would say probably McDonald's, something just quick and easy I can go to, and then I just get just a hot and spicy, large fry and a large sweet tea.
There you go. Ari is the world's biggest Filet-O-Fish fan, so he was hoping you'd say
next time you go to McDonald's, get a Filet-O-Fish and DM me and let me know how it is.
All right, so I said we'd get to some NIL questions here. This isn't an NIL question per se because it's not available as far as I can tell. For those who aren't watching the video, this is a photo of the shirt that KJ's mom made for all the members of KJ's family who go to these games. And there are multiple pictures of KJ. There's one of him running the ball, about to dump truck somebody. There's one of him praying before the game. There's one just showing how clean the uniform is. KJ, I know you have a clothing deal. How are these not for sale? Like, you could get $50 a pop for these shirts.
I actually got a new design coming out that I'm about to send to to the company right now. It's something similar like that, but it's still got my pictures and stuff on. So I'm actually about to send a new edit over and try to get that out on the market. So, but the main thing, the reason why I didn't sell them shirts or put them on the market, because those are just really like family shirts. So it meant a lot just being able to let my family get a hold of the shirts and then just divide that way. So that's why they didn't just, hit the market. But I got a new edit in mind right now that I'm about to send over. So
Andy, would there be like any ethical journalistic problems if I wore that to the game on Saturday?
Probably you're not allowed to wear it to the game. But listen, any other time, I don't think there's a problem. And KJ, you were cracking me up. I heard you on a podcast telling a story about the Georgia Southern game last year, where your mom came down like to the fence, like she would have when you were in high school, and was like, "You got to get it together."
She actually did that versus Missouri State, but I didn't see her though. So So she told me after the game, like, "Hey, you didn't see me like behind you. I was yelling your name." I was like, "No, I didn't. I was locked in." So she actually did it again. So anytime I'm not playing right or the game's not going right or something like that, just she's coming down there to the sideline.
I mean, she got to get her a field pass.
Man, that's what she be asking me. I need to be out there on the field, which I need to make sure you locked in. You know what you're doing.
One time when I was playing Pop Warner, my dad said that if I got a sack on the next drive, that he would take me to McDonald's, which is where this whole thing started. And I didn't get a sack, and we still went to McDonald's. So, but a good parent,
and that's why Ari never ended up being any good at football, because he didn't understand that you actually have to achieve the goal to get the reward.
I didn't put the work in like you did to get where you needed to go, but I do understand the parent presence there can be helpful.
Speaking of that, all right, this is another NIL question. This blows my mind. So we're gonna play a little video for the folks. If you're watching on the YouTube, you're gonna see the whole thing, but you will get the gist if you're listening on the podcast. This goes back to Ari's question about how much has changed in 2-3 years. This is KJ advertising for Walmart.
Sunday mornings after the game, I am worn out and beat up from the hits I took. Luckily, as a Walmart Plus member, I'm able to get everyday essentials like Old Spice and Tide delivered to my door. When I don't have to run out to the store, I can recover in comfort.
I mean, this is crazy. Like Walmart, like one of the 5 biggest companies in America. Does that blow your mind sometimes that you're in this position?
It does. I mean, just being able to prep for that video. I mean, it took me like 1,000 tries just to get that one video all down pat. I mean, it's a blessing at the same time. I mean, it's a blessing. I'm humble. Just blessed to be in this position. I mean, just 2-3 years ago, I mean, nobody's in this position, and now just to be able to have the NIL come along and just be able to just use your platform. I mean, just be able to go out there on Saturdays and perform and do your best and make sure your teammates, doing the best they can, and then just come back and have a platform that you can go to and build your own brand just outside of football, just building your brand and networking with different people and companies, trying to get your name out there.
So who shot, because if you didn't see the video, if you're just listening on the podcast, is KJ in bed on a Sunday? He's hurting.
Is that your actual room?
Yeah, that's my actual room. Yeah, that's my room.
So covers over the head. He's going to his phone, going to the Walmart app and tapping the essentials that he needs. Who's filming that? And you said it took a while. How many takes did it take?
Man, it took probably about 5 takes, because I wasn't never serious. So every time like they say record, I just start laughing, because I mean, like, it's my first time doing it. So it took me a minute just to actually get serious for the whole video and then just prep everything out. But my roommate and my best friend helped me out with it. So shouts out to them.
KJ, when you're playing a game, I just got to ask one more question about this. When you're playing a game, you play it hard. I mean, you're running hard. You're lowering your shoulder. We've seen all the different ways that you're a versatile weapon, right? But when you are beat up after a game, can you tell people how much pain are you actually in the day after a game? And what are the essentials that you actually would need to buy to get you through that Sunday? Like my essentials on Sunday are stuffed crust pizza for the NFL games. I didn't know like what powers you through your Sunday.
It's probably not detergent. I don't think you're doing laundry.
Yeah. What's the it item you need every Sunday?
So I mean, after a football game, the Sunday we come in, we have workout. We have optional lift. So for quarterbacks, it's not optional. So you have to be there. So we'll flush out our legs. The scrimps there do an amazing job here, just being able to just not just overwork you again just from off of Saturday. So you go in, you flush your legs, I do some recovery and stuff. So the thing when I go home though, I got my massage gun like that was present in the video.
Oh, that's right. You were doing the massage. Okay, so that is your actual routine. Like hitting that massage gun.
My massage gun, Epsom salt, soaking Epsom salt, and ice. Like that was on my knees. I mean, that's the main thing I do. And then, I mean, while I'm here at the facility, after I get done lifting, I go in, I get treatment, massages, stretching, stuff like that. But once I go home, it's just the massage gun, and ice, and Epsom salt.
There you go. All right. Now that this is the big question, you're going to settle a debate that has been raging on this show for months. So Ari's a big mani-pedi guy. I'm a big nobody touch my feet guy. He says I have to do this. He said it's the best. It's like he and his wife do double dates, mani-pedis. That we need to do this.
And I go alone too and treat myself like a king. Yeah.
KJ, I hear you're a mani-pedi guy. Sell me on this thing.
Yeah, I'm actually going tomorrow to get my mani-pedi. So, I mean, it just like I normally go by myself too, just to collect my thoughts, get away from the game. So the main thing when I'm in there is just, I mean, I don't have to worry about nobody just keep asking me football coach over and over. It just, you in there, you relax, you just in your thoughts, you just thinking about just life. So, I mean, it's just a soothing, just a self-care day. I mean, you just relaxing. They just rubbing your feet, rubbing your hands, getting you right.
So the person never looks up from your hands and is like, listen, on that read option on 3rd and 4, how come you didn't let Rocket just keep it?
It's more like, they ask me, what do I play sports or anything like that. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. There ain't nothing like that. Nothing like about the read option or nothing like that. Nothing too hard.
Well, they got to be careful with those feet, man. Those are pretty important in your state. And the thing that I don't understand is this co-host of mine, KJ, doesn't understand how delightful it is to have somebody rub your feet.
Yeah,
he's like, don't touch my feet. It doesn't compute to him. Can you please help me out here and just let him know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great experience. I mean, you don't have to think about like somebody just touching your feet. You just have to think like, they're taking care of me. That's the main thing. You got to think, they're taking care of me.
Try it.
They get me prepped up. They get me ready for this or that. So I mean,
all right, KJ. Here's how we'll do it. You beat A&M this weekend. I'll go get a mani-pedi.
All right, that's a deal. That's a deal.
KJ Jefferson, thank you so much, and good luck this weekend.
Thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed it.
Appreciate you, KJ. Thanks.
Yes.